Hello friends, this is Sundaram Ganesh from Young India IAS channel, and today we have with us one of the greatest and strongest leaders of India, Jayalalitha ji. We have heard a lot about her. She's very confident person. Let's hear about Jayalalitha. Hello madam.
Hello.
Hello Jayalalitha ji, you were born to a wealthy family, yet you had to work hard for your family at a young age. Would you share a little about your childhood?
Yes, I was actually born to a really prestigious family. My grandfather was the palace surgeon in Mysore Palace, and he had made a really good worth of fortune for our family. But I think if he was still alive, we wouldn't have to work this hard. My mother wouldn't have to become an actress. I wouldn't have to become an actress. And my father was a leisure spender. And people say he's gambler, but I would not. I doesn't like calling him gambler. So he was just spending a lot of money. And by the time he passed away, we were left with nothing. And it made my mom to work really hard. By the age of 20, she had to raise 2 children, and that time she left me and my brother with her parents at Bangalore, and she went to live with my aunt in Madras. And she was very beautiful lady, and my aunt was an actress already. And when directors and producers come to my aunt's house, they saw her and got struck by her beauty and asked her to act in films, and that's how my mother got to acting. And I have never spent my time with my mother. She was always in Madras, and whenever she came to meet us, she would just leave so fast, and I never got any childhood spent with her. And if I talk about my childhood, the most normal time of my life was when I was in school days, and that was also the happiest time of my life. It was so carefree, and I didn't have to be scared about people comments or any cameras. So that was my childhood basically.
Thank you. You were a brilliant student in school, and you were given with a government scholarship for your later studies, but you rejected it and you pursued acting. Could you explain why?
Okay, as I said, we had a lot of financial issues, and as time passed, my mother was not a star actress. She was doing supportive roles and like smaller roles. And when she started getting lesser offer for acting, when I was 16 years old, she asked me to do the acting. And I really hated acting. I was very shy. I was very naive and tongue-twisted person, reserved person. And I hated when I had to act in front of cameras. I hated when I had to perform dance in the stage when a bunch of people are looking at me. And I throw a lot of tantrums, and I argued with the directors who asked me to act at that time. But later, when she educated me about all the problems we are going through, I just told her to reject the scholarship and I will just pursue the acting. So that's how I got into acting. Sure.
You have filmed a lot of movies with MGR, and you followed him to the politics. But you reached to the top after he passed away. What was your experience through this journey?
Okay, MGR, I acted on almost 140 films, and the majority of those films I filmed with MGR. And to me, he was like a guru, guide, and a mentor. And he had a lot of influence on me after my mother. He is the one who dominated my life after my mother did. And yeah, he did introduce me to politics. And at this, like the films, I was not into politics either. It was not my ambition. So after his death, I was going to quit politics, but my party workers just wouldn't allow me to, and they just told me to stay in politics and lead their party. So I just did as they said, and nothing was easy for me. Like MGR didn't smoothen the way for me to rise in politics like Indira Gandhi did for her son. I had to face a lot of problems, struggles, and it was really hard for me.
As a politician, sometimes you have to become someone you aren't for the public. What was the most unbearable thing or moment you faced at the beginning?
Okay, I still remember this. I was at a legislative assembly, and at that time the chief minister, I don't really remember. Yes, at that time people were just attacking me with anything they got, like chairs, microphones. They were just pulling my hair and everything. And there was this brass bell. Them trying to hit me with, and I think if they managed to hit me with that, I wouldn't be alive at that later moments. I wouldn't be a chief minister either. And it was very unbearable moment, and I don't think anything can compensate the moments or feelings I've gone through. It was very hard, and I was later sent to jail, prison. And at that time I took a vow that after becoming chief minister, only that I will step my leg into that assembly. And after 2 years I did prove that, and I did become a chief minister, and I went to legislative assembly.
You have lived a life with high and low points, and nothing was easy. What was the one experience that gave you the worst feeling?
I would say it was definitely when I had to be in prison. And when among all the prisons in Tamil Nadu, Madras Central Prison was the worst, because when the prison I was sent in was used to keep women's prisoners before, but it was later declared unsafe, and they just closed it and moved them to another. But for my honor, it was again reopened just to put me in that prison. And it was very hard because there were a lot of rats, worms crawling out of the walls, and I had to sleep in the bare floor. And my chief minister of my party would call to the superintendent and ask, is she crying, what is she doing? I think it was to bring my spirit down, but I didn't shed a tear at that time, because I always thought at that freedom fighting time, all the women freedom fighters experienced this. And when I was caught, lot of other women and party members were also caught and put in prison. And if they are facing this situation, why can't I? That's how I spent 1 month in that prison. And I would say that was the lowest point of my life, when I had to face the worst feeling.
Thank you so much for such a wonderful interview. We love you. Thank you so much.